Hi guys, Bubba here. Been a long time. Sitting out, fall afternoon, sun's peeking in and out. Just go over a quick piece of gear that somehow just been put together little by little, not really with a purpose. I've had an Orca water bottle for a while, carrier, and I've always ran Pepsi or Diet Mountain Dew or Pepsi product 2 liters in it, because with the 2 liter it just fit. It'd poke out the top of the pouch a little bit, but Dave over at Really Big Monkey had showed it on one of his videos, and I said that's a great way to carry a couple liters, a little over a couple quarts of water. So when we go on family hikes and stuff, or with the dog, I always have ample fluid with me. The one downside on that is when the 2 liter bottle got empty, even with air in the bottle, it would crack all the time, or crumple and crack, and if I just threw it somewhere and put gear on top of it, I'd ruin the 2 liter bottle and have to put another one in, which is, nothing. It's recycle, reuse. But that forced me to always bring a filter with, and I only have a couple filters. I don't like to have them, a ton of them. I mean, they're not going to get used all at once. So then I was on Pathfinder's, Dave Canterbury's site, and I noticed he had a stainless 64-ounce bottle, which I recently picked up to put in this gear. Single-walled, wide mouth. I have it empty right now. So I wish the cap was all metal. It does have a seal. It does not leak. I haven't had this in a fire yet. I've had this on an alcohol stove. It boils water just as quick as any other canteen cup or anything like that. It's a heavier, dutier one. It's pretty darn stout. I bought the nesting cup to go with it, but in this bag it's insulated, so the nesting cup really doesn't go in there. But the nesting cup is also a huge 48-ounce cup. So instead of carrying that in here, I'm using that nowadays as a coffee pot, as a multiple user pot to heat water in. It's great for coffee. I can put 16 ounces of water in it, and the Pathfinder nesting cup comes with a lid with a strainer and 2 holes so you can run a bail, and that cup boils water quick on an alcohol stove or my butane stove. But with the padding in here, it'll keep the hot stuff hot and the cold stuff cold, but the cup won't fit. And this is a pouch that Pathfinder used to sell, but now they have, I don't know if they struck a deal with Orca. It's an identical looking carrier, but it's without the insulation. So now they actually, for this big container, they sell a carrier that will both hold the cup and the bottle. But again, that wasn't really my main purchase for this. I just wanted a nice stout bottle that would not get trashed. So with this is a newer style container. So it's got a nice large pocket on the front, and then the bottom opens up as well. And when the bottom opens up, it's another pouch, but the earlier containers didn't have this on the bottom. So the carrier was actually, not container, carrier didn't have these. And it was actually a little smaller and lighter weight. This whole kit that I have here probably weighs about 3.5 pounds because I've made it kind of a micro survival bag. I have a pouch here that I got from another friend online, and right now it's just a small boo-boo kit. So I have some Band-Aids and some gauze and some bleed stop. I was quite surprised that Wally World carried bleed stop in the camping section, 2 packages for, I think it was under $5, which I thought was phenomenal, because you get the quick clot with that's already in the sponge, and I think those are roughly 20 or 30 bucks. So the difference here being is that you'd have to, it's powder, you really have to pack the wound, and then you'd have to tie it off with gauze or bandana or something of that sort. In my main pouch, I have a 5x8 Survival Tarp from Bushcraft USA. I just got it smunched down in there, and that fits in there very well. And obviously it's blaze orange, so it'd keep you safe, or it's a signal device. Or if I just pull it out and double it over, I can use it as a ground sheet or something like that, just to get us by in a swampy area. Again, this is just maintained for just in case survival with the family on a simple hike somewhere. And that's all that I fit in that pouch there is this. I mean, it looks puffy, but it really squashes down. And that 5x8 has sewn in corners. I believe it has a ridgeline tab on it as well. It's sill nylon, really lightweight, durable. And I believe on Bushcraft Outfitters, I believe they're only like $60, which for sill nylon is not bad. And then I have about 12 feet of cordage that's wrapped around to attach the sheath to the molly straps. So that's easily deployable, separated to use for the tent stakes or wood stakes that I would make. And then in it is just a knife that I had that I haven't really been using a lot. Just a Damascus knife that I liked with the pinky hold on it. It's got a walnut handle, but on one side the walnut has cracked, so I would assume that the manufacturer did not stabilize it long enough. So I have yet to epoxy that in, or rehandle it for that matter. So then we got our cutting tool, we got cordage, we got cover, we got a container, we got a boo-boo kit, and then down at the very bottom I have another hank, about 25 foot of paracord, regular 550 that I could separate, use for a ridgeline or something like that. And then also I have in a plastic bag some homemade fire raviolis I make. I'll do a separate video on that, as well as a striker multi-tool pry bar and a small ferro rod, I believe. These are Yuko, and again, those came with something, and I usually don't use the micro ferro rods. I like the stout ones that are about a ½ inch. There's a little pouch, or in the bottom of the pouch there's a little strap to hold that in. And then since I do take my dog or the kids, a cheap silicone collapsible cup. And these things, I tell you, I've gotten several of these because Snow Peak, I believe, makes hot lips for putting the silicone on the top of your metal container so it doesn't burn your lips. Those are, I think, roughly at like REI or something, $7-8 for a set of them. These at Wally World, yes, they're made in China, $1.42, under $1.50, and that nests really perfect into the bottom of this container. And actually, I'll do it the other way. Nope, I think I had it in there first like that. And then the silicone just mushes down and the pouch bows out when I want to just have that paracord in there. It's got a double pull on it. I don't know why. The top has a double pull too, so you can always find your pull. So, there we have the water container survival system. Covers my 5 C's. Covers a boo-boo kit even. And then durability. The only downsides that I don't really particularly love about this is that it's about 3.5 pounds the way it sits. I'm not a micro hiker. I'm not an ultralight hiker. I don't know what you want to classify as. I'm not a hiker. I go from A to B. I don't get enjoyment out of going out and climbing mountains or going down miles and miles of trail just to do the trail. I'll go A to B to get to a particular lake, to see a particular place or get to a campsite, but I don't aimlessly like to hike. Canoeing, that's a different thing. I could go out in the canoe and spend all day and go nowhere and put lots of water miles on. But that's me. Plus, I'm an old fat guy. Bad knees, bad shoulders. That's the main reason I don't like to carry a ton of weight. But you just can't get away with it. I mean, this is 3.5 pounds. My haversack's probably roughed out at 8 to 10 pounds with no food. And then my rucksack is, with no food, is at 24 pounds, if I remember right. So this will get me through a couple hard days if I have to, minus food. My haversack that I use all the time, I just love it. It carries so much gear. You have to force yourself not to overstuff a haversack. And then the rucksack is great for my family and I. I can, with what I have in my rucksack, we can survive for at least 3 to 5 days just with what's in there, minus the food again. So whether I'm hunting for small game, rabbit, squirrel, or something like that, or bringing freeze-dried food, just in case, we can always get by. So, just wanted to do a quick little video on that and explain my new bottle. I think I'll do a video on my fire starters. I got turned on to them somewhere years back. An old video popped up, and I've been hooked on them ever since. So, until then,